vinyl community, enthusiasts, lovers of all things vinyl. Welcome back to my channel here, guys. And it's been just a little bit of time, not as long as it was a couple of months ago, or I went several months without making a video, so I'm finally back here. To be honest with you, I haven't really bought a lot of records in the last several months, and that's why there hasn't really been a lot of content on this channel as well, among some other things. But I do have some great stuff to show you today, so let's just get right into it. The first thing I want to do is, there is a CD that I want to talk about for just a moment. I don't talk about a lot of CDs because most of the things that I'm collecting are vinyl records. So what I wanted to talk to you guys today about was this record, or excuse me, CD right here, called Anchor and Bear. And let me see if I can move that forward just a little bit for you there, and hopefully the camera doesn't go out of focus. But if you can tell there, and some of you actually in the vinyl community might have this album. This is our very own from the vinyl community. He is in a group called Anchor and Bear, and this is Brian. Brian has an amazing channel where he talks a lot about Beatles finds that he gets, and then of course a lot of other records as well. But the core of his channel has been about Beatles, and that's awesome. But I just want to talk about this CD for the moment. This is their newest CD. Is called Anchor and Bear Raincoats, Coats and Cold, and that's just an awesome image right there. I think that just is really great. I wanted to show you this inside of this as well. This is actually the picture that's on the back of the actual CD as well, but it's harder to see there. Actually, I'm covering it with my thumb. Sorry about that. But I just wanted to share with you, I can't remember how long ago it was. I think it was earlier this year. They brought this particular CD out, and I told Brian, because I told him I bought the CD, and they sent it to me actually early for me to check out, and they probably did that because I said I was going to do a review. So Brian, if you do end up watching this particular video that I'm doing today, I do apologize for not reviewing this album until now. But I just want to tell you guys, if you do not have this and you've never heard of this group, you need to pick up this particular album. It is killer. It has some really great songs on it. One of the great songs on here is the single they actually put out, which was Green Shoe Girl, and it has this really great 60s vibe to it, and a lot of the songs have homage to, you could probably guess, the Beatles. There's a lot of Beatle-esque things in the songs. There's also a song on here, I forget at the very moment which one it is, but it has a very surf type sound, which is really good. I really enjoy that type of sound. But the Green Shoe Girl is one of the great songs on here. I really do need to actually give this another spin. I've probably listened to this probably about I think 3 times, if not 4. But I need to give this another spin. But you guys need to really check this album out. It is awesome. I can't say enough good about it. The musicianship is fantastic. The singing is fantastic. And so you really do need to check this out. They really worked hard on this, and you need to just either go to Anchor and Bear. I believe their website is anchorandbear.com, or you need to just go to Brian's YouTube page. I'll put a link in the description for this website, anchorandbear.com, and for Brian's page as well, so you can check out his stuff if you are not familiar with him, because he's got some great stuff about vinyl and is a great contributor to the vinyl community. So Brian, again, thank you so much for you and your band for putting out this album. It is a great piece of work. You guys really show how hard you worked on it, and it is in my humble opinion, one of the best albums I've heard this year. So you guys need to check that out. Now, the next thing I have here, I cannot remember if I showed this off or not. This is The Greatest Showman. I feel like I might have shown this before, but I just do not remember. I've been not doing a lot of videos, as you know, and so I just cannot remember. So I'm sure a lot of you have done that before. You've done a repeat of an album that you forgot if you showed off. But The Greatest Showman is a musical, and let me just tell you guys, this is probably one of my favorite albums of this year as well. I've listened to it so many times, and I just the actual movie itself is fantastic. But here's the actual record here. This is on Atlantic Records. That was side B. Let me show you side 1. Same exact album artwork, same sticker there for the label. Excuse me. Forgetting terminologies here. But The Greatest Showman, as far as the people that actually that are represented in here, Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron and Michelle Williams, and I'm telling you what, it is a fantastic album, and I'll just tell you right now, all these songs are great. I don't know if who out there in the vinyl community is a avid musical lover, but there is several different musicals I just really enjoy, and this is one of them. But songs that I really enjoy from this particular soundtrack is A Million Dreams. That's a great song that Hugh Jackman sings with Michelle Williams. It's just a really cool song about how this character is just sort of just sitting there in life, growing up. Starts with supposed to be a younger version of Hugh Jackman's character singing about how he has dreams to become this great person and has these big dreams to do great things. And then towards the middle of the song, Hugh Jackman actually comes in and sings as, of course, the older version of that character. Just a really great song. There's so many good songs in here, though, man. Another one is Never Enough, which is performed by an artist called Lauren Allred. And powerful song, great voice. Really, when I first started listening to this album, there was multiple times I got choked up actually listening to that song. Really powerful delivery, just a great song. Probably another song, well, I know this is one of my favorites. This is the one I probably have listened to the most out of any of these songs on this record, and that is on side 2, which is Rewrite the Stars, Zac Efron and Zendaya. I hope I'm saying that name right. But they both perform that together, and in the movie, it's a great part of the movie. Just talking about those two characters, talking about how they can be together, because one is on he's just a real rich guy, comes from rich family, where the girl is just really she's part of the circus, and they're just from two different worlds, and it's like, how can they be together? But they do make it work. Sorry if that spoils something for the movie for you, but The Greatest Showman, if you do like musicals, if you haven't seen the movie, if you don't know about the soundtrack, check it out. You will be very impressed with this, I guarantee it. Next one I have here, we are going through, is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. And I am, unfortunately to say, I still have not listened to the side C and D of this yet, but I've listened to side A and B, and I am very impressed. I will say this is the first time, well, yeah, it's probably hard to kind of see everything. There's so many pictures on this gatefold here, but a great, I really like that picture on the back, though. That's just awesome. The thing that was really interesting about this is that a lot of you probably know, if you've ever picked up this, I assume the record at one point had the different cover on it. If you know what I'm talking about, the different cover. There was a different cover that I grew up hearing songs off this on a CD. And I was surprised when I picked this up. This was actually, I will mention, this was a birthday gift from my fiance. She was gracious enough to let me pick out a record for my birthday, and this is what I picked up. But the funny thing was, this was not the cover that I was used to seeing, and when I actually picked it up at Barnes & Noble's, and they brought it out to me, and I was like, wait a minute. I took a second look. I was like, is that the right record? Because even on Barnes & Noble's website, they actually had the cover that I was used to seeing off the CD, and if a lot of you know what I'm talking about, I'm sure you do. But here is, let me pull this out here. This is side A. This is on Geffen Records. It's also home to an awesome band called Lifehouse. Really enjoy those guys. But it was just really interesting that cover was this cover. I mean, it's good. I like it. I do like it a lot. But for some reason, I just the cover that I always imagine in my head is is the other cover. Oh, sorry if I bumped the table there and it shook the camera. But realistically, this is a little bit harder to get out here. You can kind of see right here that side C and D are going to have the same label on them there. But again, I look forward to listening to the rest of this record as I get time. But so far on side A, I believe it was, yes, side A has Refugee, which a lot of you know who are avid Tom Petty and Heartbreaker fans. I actually really got this record on my dad's suggestion because, again, I have heard Refugee, American Girl, and many other songs by Tom Petty, which Free Falling, of course, is another great one. I think a lot of people recognize him for that song a lot. But if you don't have this yet, pick this up. So far, I'm very impressed. I do like it a lot. One thing I do notice in some songs is that Tom Petty does, he definitely paints pictures in his music, which is really cool. And a few of the songs I've noticed that, he doesn't always keep a lot of artists will sometimes keep their same signature vocal style, and I feel like sometimes Tom Petty changes his style a little bit. I mean, it's still him, of course, but again, I'm just now getting my feet wet with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and that's one thing I noticed that was interesting is his vocal performance wasn't always exactly the same. I don't know if that makes 100% sense what I'm trying to say with that, but he just. He I guess it's his delivery, I guess, how he sings it, which makes it unique. So anyway, I don't know if that made a lot of sense, but just something I noticed that he does. So anyway, sorry about that ramble. The next one we have here is Aerosmith, and I actually picked this one up fairly recently after my birthday. And this one, I don't really recall doing this until just this album. This is a reissue. And looks great, sounds great. Columbia Records, and first Aerosmith album I've actually collected for my vinyl collection. But I got this from Best Buy, and I keep forgetting that Best Buy has records, and it's not the first place I think about going to when I'm thinking about getting a record. So this one, again, like I said, is on Columbia Records, and this sounds absolutely fantastic. That's the classic Columbia record that I've seen a lot on a lot of these guys. But Toys in the Attic, and of course it's got songs on there like Walk This Way, which classic Aerosmith song, one of my favorites of the band. And again, this is my first introduction into songs by Aerosmith. But let's see, Walk This Way is a great song. You See Me Crying, also amazing track, but I just really think that's an awesome picture of the band right there on the back. You have all the toys in the front there, and then they're sitting up in the attic with all the toys there, but looking all nice and cool and like they own the joint. It's awesome. Now, the next one I have here, I have not opened yet. I looked at this today and I was like, I haven't shown this off as far as I know, and I have not opened it. And that is the Justice League soundtrack. I got this originally from Amazon.com. I believe they had it on pre-order, and I got it. And unfortunately, sad to say, I haven't listened to it yet, although since it's been in the shrink here, it is openable. How about we just open that right now? Let's just stop playing games here. Let's just open this up. I wasn't really necessarily intending to do this today, but let's just go ahead and unwrap this. And I probably will make some people in the vinyl community a little bit sad when they find out that I don't ever keep what. Oh, see, look at that. That probably makes people sad right now. I do not keep the hype sticker. It's just not something that I really do. I don't know, just don't do it. Unfortunately, this was a little beat up. I remember when I got this, it was like, oh man, it's a little bit beat up, but that stuff happens. But this is a first for me here, so let's just take a look and open this up. Okay, very cool. So the gatefold actually has, let me just take a look at this for myself so I can enjoy this for half a second here, since I have never opened this. That is very cool. So let me just show you here. Hopefully the camera can pick this up. But they basically are showing off the orchestra. Wasn't sure I was going to open it up and see pictures of the actual superheroes themselves, but that's pretty cool. I mean, of course, this is a superhero soundtrack, but you got to give credit, of course, to the people that make the music, which makes the movies a lot better if there was no music at all, obviously. So again, I don't know what to expect because I don't remember if this was a color vinyl or if this was just straight black. Or here's the label. I can't remember if this is. Nope, this is just a straight black vinyl. Needs to be dusted off a little bit. It's been in there, but it's got some dust. So here is the actual label. This is on Water Tower Music. Looks like part of the WB label. So that's really cool. I like how they have the actual symbols of each character: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash. Awesome. Very cool. Now that I have that open, I have no excuse but to listen to it, and that's the whole reason we get these records, right? To listen to them. That's the one thing I was actually just thinking about today is, so many of the people in the vinyl community will actually talk about how they have all these loads of records and they haven't listened to them all, and I still have tons of records that I haven't listened to, and I'm just like, man, I personally, I'm the type of person that I want to listen to everything that I get. It's great if it gets something that you really want to have in your collection, but then it's just like, if you don't listen to it, what's the point in that sense? Because I mean, you get it because you want to hear what the artist had to say on that record and what they put into the record. It's the whole package, the whole experience. So there's a lot of records that I still want to listen to that I haven't listened to yet, and once I finally get that dwindled down a lot more, to maybe until I get to maybe like only have maybe 5 records maybe or left to listen to or something like. Because I've got more than that. I've got way more than that, but hopefully once I do that, I can start picking up the record collecting again, because I just don't want to be left with. I don't want to be 87 years old and still have like 3,000 records or something like that. I'd be like, I haven't listened to half of these, So anyway, here's the last record I have to show you guys. It is Les Paul and his trio, and I got this from Barnes and Nobles, and I was just like, I gotta have this. We all know Les Paul as the grandfather of creating the Les Paul guitar, one of the most iconic guitars ever made, and of course, people we can think of that have played the Les Paul is Slash. There is Jimmy Page, and many other artists that have played a Les Paul guitar. And because of this man, we've had some great music created. And I didn't know until the longest time that probably till maybe, I don't know, it was 5 years ago or something like that Les Paul was actually an artist himself. And I'm very excited. I have not listened to this yet, but I'm so excited to listen to this. This was actually a colored vinyl, which was really cool. Limited edition thing type going on here. But the first record, this is really cool. This color, I think this color is just rocking. This is a yellow here, a very cool looking yellow. And this is on, what does that say the record label is? Oh, that's upside down, I can't read it. The G Org Music, is that really what it is? Yeah, I guess G Org Music. I've never heard of that label before in my life. But anyway, this just, I don't know, it goes with the theme of the cover and everything. It's great. This yellow vinyl. And the other one, let me show this to you as well. This is also a killer looking color here. Let's pull it out like this really bright hot pink, but I think this looks amazing. This is absolutely cool. I don't think I have an actual, well, I might have one other record in my collection that is pink, but I don't think it's this bright of a pink, and I don't know if that translates correctly on camera, but these have yet to be listened to. So it's been open, but I have not listened to them yet, and I'm very excited to listen to that and to the Justice League soundtrack and everything else that I still have not listened to, the rest of the Tom Petty record and everything. But guys, that is everything that I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and of course I would love to hear from you guys in the comments if you want to hang out and talk and discuss any of the records that I showed you today. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today's video, and don't forget that This is a lifestyle, everyone, so make sure that you keep flipping that wax, and we will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for your support, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.